And this river, it came from the Paraguay basin, where we have water that came from the Amazon. So the Pantanal, it's a wetland that most of the water came from the Amazon rainforest in the form of the flying rivers that came from there.
And the wildfires must have been absolutely devastating.
The Pantanal wetlands has natural wildfires, so it's usual we have fires during the dry season, but in the last 2 years we had really intense dry season, and besides that we also had the intentional fires that are used by farmers to open the area so they can put the cattle there. So we have these wildfires. They're usual, but it's more intense now because of the dry season that is way drier than it used to be. And besides that, we had the intentional fires that are more intense in the last few years.
That is Dr. Luisa Diele-Viegas. She is a researcher in ecology and evolution with the Federal University of Alagoas in Brazil, talking about the very devastating impact, not just on animals, but on amphibians and really everything that lives in what is the world's largest tropical wetland, the Pantanal in South America. Those catastrophic wildfires last year having a really devastating impact.
It's taken over 60 years to get justice, and now the civil rights activist Claudette Colvin, who in 1955, at age just 15, refused to give up her seat on a bus for a white person, has had her record expunged. The 82-year-old was convicted of assaulting a police officer while being arrested in Alabama and put on probation. Well, after a petition from Miss Colvin, an Alabama judge last month ordered the records be destroyed. Leah Nelson is part of Miss Colvin's legal team, and she told me that the judge flew out to Texas, where Claudette now lives, to deliver the news and offer an apology.
It also matters a lot for an Alabama judge to do what this judge did, to go out to speak face-to-face with someone who is a victim of racial injustice in this state, which has an extraordinary history of racial injustice, and to apologize for what the court that he now presides over did. That is something that I hope will be a model for this state.
Remind our listeners, if you may, Leah, how exactly it is that an 82-year-old could now be asking to have her name cleared effectively for a case dating back to 1955. Why should she have had to wait for so long?
She shouldn't have had to wait for so long. So what happened was Miss Colvin was 15 years old when she refused to give her seat up on that bus, and she was put on indefinite probation after being found guilty of violating segregation laws. The probation technically ended when she came of age, but no one ever told her family that. And in fact, for years afterwards, when she would come back home from New York or wherever she was living to visit her family, they would be frightened because they're living in Alabama in the late 50s, early 60s, at a time when acts of racial terror were very real and very threatening for people who had spoken up during the Civil Rights Movement, which was still going on at that time. So they never knew that she was no longer under court supervision. As far as they were concerned, they were harboring a fugitive. And she finally asked the court now, and she had to petition a juvenile judge, a judge who usually presides over cases for children.
It's quite unbelievable, isn't it? And also what is maybe also quite sad is that the case of Miss Colvin, Claudette Colvin as she was back then in 1955, actually was 9 months before Rosa Parks' actual stand against racism, where she refused to give up her seat for a white woman on the bus. And yet it was Colvin who actually really had that first act of defiance just as a 15-year-old.
She was an extraordinary young girl. I think it's really worth noting the context that she shared about what was on her mind that day, because she didn't do it out of the blue, even though it wasn't planned. She was an incredibly intelligent, thoughtful child. And every February in America, we have something called Black History Month, which is when schools take time to look at the history and contributions of African Americans. Back then it was called Negro History Month, and she had just finished studying it. It was early March when she refused to stand up on the bus. And she told me she had been thinking about what she learned about Black history in school, and that was what kept her glued to the seat. She was also thinking about a boy that she was friends with who had been sentenced to death in a case that she felt was unjust, and she felt that a white boy who had done what he did would not have been sentenced to death. And she was thinking about him as she sat down on the bus that day. So just her presence of mind and courage at 15 is really inspiring.
Leah Nelson, part of Miss Colvin's legal team. And it's just incredible, James, to hear this 82-year-old, talk about what she suffered. At the age of 15, she was willing to stand up to the authorities and the system, and fight segregation. Truly, truly incredible. And what a win that finally such records have been expunged.
This is the BBC World Service. Join Dr. Humaira Iqbal as she tells us about the remarkable world of CODAs.
CODA stands for Children of Deaf Adults. We'll be meeting CODA children helping their folks when they're out and about. We'll also hear from adult CODAs about how the interpreting they did in childhood shaped them later on in life. And eventually, we might just tell you why we've called this programme I'm the Thumb in the Family.
Tuesday at 9 and 20 GMT. And at 8:30 GMT, Business Daily with Ed Butler.
Clearly, the COVID pandemic has brought lots of changes to our lives. Has it made some of us more willing to risk everything when it comes to investing? Research from around the world suggests this may be the case, especially among younger people.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with James Copnell and Bola Mosuro.
A shock result in a by-election in the UK places the Prime Minister Boris Johnson under pressure.
Super Typhoon Rai has made landfall in the Philippines, forcing tens of thousands from their homes. Aid agencies are now taking action to help people affected by the storm.
Also, how the Ethiopian civil war is being felt thousands of kilometres away by families in the US worrying about their loved ones.
It's been really hard. I can't sleep at night because I'm thinking about all of them. Who is starving? Which one is starving? Where are they starving? Where are they hiding?
At the heart of trying to tackle climate change is how much coal is too much. Can demand be cut?
And we hear from a man in Kentucky with a video of him playing the piano amid the devastation caused to his home by a tornado went viral. All that and more after the latest world news.
Hello, I'm Neil Nunes with the BBC News. Britain's governing Conservative Party has suffered a crushing defeat in a key local election, seen as a test of the political authority of the Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The candidate for the opposition Liberal Democrat Party, Helen Morgan, won the North Shropshire by-election with a decisive majority. The constituency had been held by the Conservative Party for almost 200 years. It's another setback for the Prime Minister, as Rob Watson reports.
This is a mini political earthquake. In a devastating blow to Boris Johnson, the seat was taken by the Liberal Democrats, whose winning candidate accused the Prime Minister of presiding over a nightly soap opera of calamity and chaos. The defeat in such a safe area will further alarm Conservative MPs, already worried about Boris Johnson's personal style and what many see as his failure to have done much with the huge majority he won only 2 years ago.
27 people are feared to have died in a fire in an office building in the Japanese city of Osaka. The police are investigating the cause of the blaze. Rupert Wingfield Hayes has more.
Pictures from the scene in Osaka show the fourth floor of the building is badly burned, but there is no apparent damage to other floors or neighbouring buildings. The fire was extinguished within half an hour. And yet it appears almost all of those who were in the fourth floor clinic are in what the police describe as a state of cardiopulmonary arrest. In layman's terms, that means they are dead, but have not yet had a full medical examination. Japanese media says the police now suspect the fire may have been started deliberately, although they have not yet said why.
Lucia Iriart, the widow of the former dictator Augusto Pinochet and a polarizing figure in Chile, has died at the age of 99. To some, Miss Iriart was a philanthropist. To others, she was reviled for her perceived influence on her husband, under whose rule more than 3,000 people were murdered by the state or disappeared. Crowds gathered in the capital Santiago to celebrate the news of her death, days before a presidential election that's divided the country. President Biden has warned that unvaccinated Americans face a winter of severe illness and death because of the highly infectious Omicron strain of the coronavirus, which he says is on point of spreading much more rapidly. He urged people to get vaccinated.
Omicron is here. It's going to start to spread much more rapidly at the beginning of the year, and the only real protection is to get your shots. If you get one shot, if you haven't gotten it yet, that'll help. If you're at the point where you have everything, including your booster, you're in really good shape. So move now. Move now.
BBC News. The US-based tech giant Meta Platforms, which owns Facebook, has banned several private surveillance companies from its platforms, accusing them of spying on users. Meta has identified around 50,000 victims around the world, including activists, dissidents, and journalists. It says the companies, 4 of which are based on or were founded in Israel, used fake profiles to trick users into revealing private information. People in the southern Philippines have woken to a trail of destruction left by Typhoon Rai. The powerful storm made landfall on the popular tourist island of Siargao on Thursday, bringing winds of 195 kilometers an hour. Communication lines to the island remain down and its airport has been damaged. The United Nations Human Rights Council will hold an urgent session on Ethiopia later today as reports of atrocities in the Tigray region mount. Instigated by the European Union, the session will decide whether to appoint an international team to investigate violations that human rights groups say may amount to war crimes. Researchers in Australia say that 1,500 languages, a fifth of those spoken in the world today, could have disappeared by the end of the century. From Sydney, here's Phil Mercer.
Australian researchers have found that as roads increasingly connect cities to more remote areas around the world, Indigenous languages can be overwhelmed by their more dominant counterparts, such as English. They believe that bilingual education has also been neglected. Australia's record is poor. Before European colonisation, more than 250 First Nation languages were spoken. Today there are just 40, and only a dozen are being taught to children.
BBC World News.
Thank you for that news and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Bola Mosero and James Copnell. This half hour, up to 13 million people could be affected by Typhoon Rai in the Philippines. That's according to the UN. How the year-long civil war being seen by Ethiopians in the diaspora. And we'll talk to the man who found peace and solace playing hymns on his piano in the ruins of his home destroyed by the tornado in Kentucky in the US. Remember, you can send a text to Bola and me on anything you hear on Newsday. Our number is +44 7786 20 50 85.
And we start here in the UK, where a dramatic by-election was won overnight by the Liberal Democrats in previously solid Conservative seat of North Shropshire. It's been in Tory hands for over 200 years, and the result is a massive challenge to the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who's under pressure within his own party. At least 100 Tory party members this week broke ranks, voting against the government and the new COVID regulations. And meanwhile, the controversy hasn't died down over lockdown parties alleged to have taken place in Downing Street last year. Well, joining us now is Professor John Curtis, political analyst and Professor of Politics at Strathclyde University. Thanks for joining us, Professor Curtis. I mean, this is, morning to you. This is a massive shock, isn't it?
It certainly is. This is actually the second worst defeat that the Conservatives have suffered at the hands of Liberal Democrats in British by-election history. And the precedent is not a happy one for the Prime Minister. The only occasion when the Conservatives suffered an even slightly bigger swing was back in Christchurch, another true blue Tory seat in 1993, and 4 years after that, the Conservatives crushed to serious defeat. I think certainly this is confirmation of the message of the polls that in the wake of some of the difficulties you've just mentioned about alleged parties that took place in a contravention of lockdown rules 12 months ago, the division in the party of the coronavirus, and of course actually the reason why this by-election was held in the first place, which was the previous incumbent, Owen Paterson, was due to be suspended by the House of Commons because of his breaking the rules over second jobs, and the Prime Minister tried to rescue him, though in the end failed to do so. All of this has seen support for the incumbent Conservatives fall fairly substantially in the opinion polls. They're now 13 points adrift of where they were back in the 2019 general election. They gave Boris Johnson his majority. I think the voters of North Shropshire have underlined the message of the polls that indeed there is now quite substantial unhappiness with the Conservatives amongst some of their previous supporters.
I mean, for people to understand the significance of this, and I'll come back to the polls in a moment, can you describe how big a swing there has been from what was, this heartland of Torydom, if you like? How big a swing has it now moved to the Lib Dems?
It's enormous. It's a 34% swing. So the Liberal Democrat vote's up by 37 points. The Conservative vote is down by 31 points as compared with 2 years ago. And it's occurred the Conservatives did lose to the Democrats in Chesham and Amersham in Buckinghamshire in the summer, but that was a constituency which had voted Remain in the 2016 EU referendum. It was a constituency where support for the Conservatives had already fallen back in 2019. This, in contrast, was a constituency that voted Leave by nearly 60% in 2016. It is Leave supporters who provided the bedrock of the Boris Johnson's electoral victory in 2019. And it now looks as though that coalition of voters that took Boris Johnson to success in 2019 is now at risk of unravelling.
And when you're talking Leave, for those who are, outside of the UK, we're talking about how Brexit at the time really affected the way that the party was being seen. Now it's more to do with COVID and the way that the party has dealt with it and these breaches of their own COVID rules. And I just wonder how much of that we've seen also in Parliament this week when we saw this rebellion by the 100 MPs. Could this actually be something that potentially could unseat Boris Johnson? Is it that strong a rebellion?
Boris Johnson has.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzette. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of digging the hole of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Star Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Bekutu, show them you got the Coco set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker, Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. We don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Christmas! Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
to Starr Radio UK.
In your car, at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
The coolest way to start your weekend.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to welcome you to the Friday edition of the morning show. Today is the 17th day of December, the year 2021, with a time now exactly at 10:41 from the hearts of London. Well, as we say here on Starr Radio UK, and I want to reiterate,
The coolest way to start your weekend.
of course, it is the coolest way to start your weekend. Wherever you are on the globe, on the planet, or even in the galaxy, wherever you are, we want to welcome you to this day's edition of the morning show. I remain yours sincerely.
This is the morning show with Archie.
So from now till 1 o'clock, I'm going to be your captain. Going to be driving you through all the storms and all the calm waters. But remember one thing for sure. I am here and therefore happiness is near. And the weekend is here. And I'm cool. But I'm so grateful to God that your life is spared, my life is spared. As I say all the time, it's not automatic that when you sleep you wake up. It takes the grace of God or whatever you believe in. But I believe that it takes the grace of God. And that is why I'm still alive and you there here listening to me as well. So once again, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. A special good morning to Alhaja Idayatu Mariana Folarin. Hope I didn't massacre the name. Good morning to you. Hope you are doing very, very well. And a special good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olaimi Koiki, Kojo D, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, the team for this morning, and my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Massive good morning to you, sir. And let me take this opportunity once again to also say good morning to the one and only Felix all the way in Aberdeen, and to Tosino all the way in Russia, in Moscow to be specific. Welcome once again to the program. To all presenters on Starr Radio UK, those here and across the globe, wherever you present your programs from, we want to salute you. We cherish you so much, so much, so much. But I want you to do me a massive favor. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Playing in the background, something from Ghana. That is Christmas tune made in the African port or made in the Ghanaian port, whichever you want to apply or call it. Okay. Now, if it's the first time of tuning in on Friday, this is how the program is going to go. Today, I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then after that, at 11 o'clock, we'll start going around the globe once again, bringing you updates from Nigeria. And then we'll be looking at some of the stories after that, making the rounds here in the UK and other parts of the world. Then, exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. But before then, if you want to do so, you can post your comments on our Facebook page or on our Twitter feed as well. You can also text or WhatsApp it to us, and I promise you I'm going to read that. And then we go on from there. Exactly at 12:30, the lines are brought down, and then we have our money man who is all geared up, ready to fire on all cylinders from his abode in Kent. Then after that, At 1 o'clock, the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that is what is going to be happening. But I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Those of you on Facebook, those of you on Twitter, those of you on Periscope, share the links with them. Those of you on YouTube, you can also listen to us on our apps, the Star Radio UK app. Yes. Go to your app store if you have not downloaded it yet. You are missing out, Go to your app store. Just type in Star Radio Global. Star Radio Global, and it will pop up and just download it. It is for free. Okie dokie do. I think my young lady is downstairs. The next week they'll be laughing. They'll be saying that I told them that the bin track was going to be coming when Monday, but it's here today. Okie dokie do. So welcome once again to the program. Okay, some Christmas tunes are going on. Now let's crack on. When it comes to the quote of the day, it says, a team is like a tool set. No one tool can do all the job alone, but together they can. A team is like a tool set. No one tool can do all the jobs alone, but together they can. That is why I need you so much. I can because you are with me and we both can. So far as you hold in my back, I'm able to go forward. And that should be your life. That should be our life. Okay, so let's crack on. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, when it comes to the weather front, it's a bit milder than has been of late. Normally, what's supposed to be. But let me tell you what is happening here. You can tell me what is happening where you are if it's not here in London. Okay, this afternoon we'll continue dull and murky. There will be just a few bright patches in places, but for most, skies will remain overcast. It will remain mostly dry as well. Now tonight will continue mostly overcast with just the odd clear break developing at times. It will remain largely dry. Mist and fog will form overnight under calm conditions. So coming your way from Star Radio, okay? The top temperature is going to be 10 degrees and the lowest is going to be 8 degrees. UV level is going to be low and pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset 15:52 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 08:01 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today. Stay tuned, don't you go away. Star Radio UK. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, I'll bring you the travel update. Don't you worry, I'm going to bring you some more music. Made in the African port, the Christmas version, and from the Caribbean area as well. So just stay tuned, don't you go away. Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. Keep your eyes on the road. Check it out. This is Ghana, my people right here. Big shout out to all the people in Africa. Can you feel this? Put you on down. Mr. Average Rock Soul. Second album in effect. We're about to do this.
This is Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, and we keep you navigated. I promise I'll be on the Star Radio Travel App that I comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now gone 10:49. Yes, that is how the Christmas is going. Well, so what is happening on the travel this morning? Yesterday I was in town and was it yesterday? Oh no, it wasn't yesterday. The day before yesterday. And there were long queues here and there. But the town center was a bit quiet, but hey, if you are traveling or you're going to town for shopping, be rest assured that you will face some traffic there. But remember, because of the restrictions, the COVID Omicron variant, please make sure you protect yourself. Now, Hamas Speed and City Line has got minor delays due to train cancellation. That aside, all the others have got good service on the underground. Now, TFL Rail DLR landed landing overground good service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated, I promise, our bond. Now, moving on straight to the river bars this morning. Apart from the Woolwich Ferry that is suspended, all the others have got good service. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and keep you navigated. Now let's move on straight to the National Rail. On the National Rail this morning, cross country has got special service, First Howl trains, special service, First Transper 9 Express, special service, London North Eastern Railway, special service, Northern Rail, special service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, and we'll keep you navigated, I promise, our boy. I'm moving on straight to the final segment of the travel updates. That is the major roads in London. What do we have there? So on the final segment, now A10 has got closures, A4 closures, Central London Red Roads closures, A20 serious delays, A23 serious delays, South Circular A205 serious delays there as well. And as I would say all the time, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hey, with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes.
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzette. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. At work, on your smartphone.
Are you ready to turn it up?
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's go global trotting. So playing in the background something from the African continent. Well, it is happening live, whether you like it or not. And as a friend would say, what is happening live? What is happening live? What is happening live? Well, Lib Dems have delivered a shocker by-election and won in blow to the Prime Minister. Now, the Conservative lost one of their safest seats as the new MP says the party is over for Boris Johnson. Do you think the party is over for Boris Johnson? I think Kojo is doing good, isn't he? But well. It is Starr Radio UK. We'll be looking into details. Would that bring about any change, or would that cause the backbenchers now sit up and say, hey, Prime Minister, you better sit up and drive carefully. Don't drive us or run us into a ditch. Because if it had been a general election, I bet by this time Conservatives will be wiped out. But well, why didn't Labour win? Why didn't Labour be in a position of winning? Is it that because in a particular seat, because Lib Dems are stronger there than Labour? In the past, what has been the trend? I'll try to find all that and bring your way. Well, the Welsh have gone a step further. Tougher Welsh restrictions to come amid Omicron threats. And a woman has been arrested after 4 boys died in a house fire. The children were 2 sets of twins, aged 3 and 4, who were home alone, the fire brigade says. Where were their parents? Well, moving on to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Australia is mourning children killed in Bouncy Castle. I didn't talk about that yesterday. 5 children died and 4 others were injured when a wind gust blew away the castle at a school fair. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Now moving on, 10 North Koreans on 10 years of Kim. It's a decade since an untested 27-year-old took power, but how has it been to live under Kim Jong-un? That's a question that's being posed. At least 27 people are feared dead in Japanese building fire. Police are looking into the possibility that the blaze was deliberately started, local media says. And an Indian lawmaker apologizes for enjoy rape remark. The opposition lawmaker said he didn't intend to insult women after his comment drew outrage. He was saying that the women should, whilst they are being raped, try to enjoy it. Maybe some way, somehow, that will help them maybe ease the pain. I bet he has to be sacked. Now, Philippine tourist island devastated by typhoon. Power and communications are down to the popular island of Siargao after strong winds and heavy rains. And Sweden's Christmas goat is touched again. A giant straw goat that is an annual highlight in the city of Gavi is burned down by an arsonist. Oh God. Okay, Mexican actress shot dead while waiting for son. Now, Tania Mendoza was outside the football academy when a gunman opened fire before escaping. What did she do to merit that behavior? This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. And in Okay, some story that is making the round this morning. Search warrant issued for Alec Baldwin's phone. Why is he being going to be held culpable for what happened? Well, in Chile, Chilean crowd celebrate the death of Pinochet's widow. Oh my goodness. You know, when people hate you with all passion, when you pass, they celebrate your enemies. US permanently allows mail order abortion pills. And a US panel wants Johnson & Johnson jab sidelined over clot deaths. Well, how true is that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And a medal of honor for the first black soldier since Vietnam. We'll be looking into that story too in a moment. But it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Israel is to impose travel ban on UK and Denmark. The two countries are being added to COVID-19 red list due to concern over the Omicron variant. We'll be bringing you more on that front as well. All coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. EU wants Russia over severe costs over Ukraine. Yes, EU wants Russia of severe costs over Ukraine. Yesterday, I did touch on that briefly. But well, they met yesterday and their leaders say aggression will result in massive consequences, including new economic sanctions. Have they got the balls to do so? Well, you are, getting gas from them or buying gas from them, getting your gas supplied from Russia. Can you go a step further to say that, well, we're going to cut our nose to spite our faces? Well, now that we know that fuel prices have gone up or energy costs is high in this part of the world, do you think that they have the guts to do so? Well, a stray leopard has been captured in a Kenyan home. The animal is believed to have come from a neighboring park. And Rwanda ex-driver jailed for role in genocide. French Rwandan Claude Moyimana has been sentenced to 14 years in prison. But some say the wheel of justice grinds slowly, but one day it will get there. And this is a case where we can say or attest to it that it's gotten there. Malawi to make COVID jabs mandatory for key staff. The country is seeing a rise in infections while vaccination rates remain low. Well, when it comes to AFCON on the African continent, football festival that takes place, it's going to be taking place early next year. Now, fans will need to be fully vaccinated and provide negative COVID tests to enter stadia at the African Cup of Nations in Cameroon. It's all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 4 minutes past the top of the hour. So looking at some of the stories making the rounds. Congo declares end to latest Ebola outbreak. And in Niger, thousands flee homes following threats from jihadist group. And then political tension in Tunisia set to rise. South Africa authorities turn to renewable energy to deal with load shedding. And end of mandatory quarantine in UK greeted in South Africa. CNG gives Buhari 3 months to resolve insecurity in North or face mass action. Well, some of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria as well. Well, we know that the president is at the moment in Turkey. And then, still in Nigeria, well, I'm going to bring you details of it. Namdi Kano, now prisoner of conscience, IPOB is saying. A lot more going to be coming your way from there. Okay, let's move on to Ghana as well. Baumia's campaign billboard resurfaces in Kumasi despite party ban. Is it a ploy to maybe foul him? Hey, we said it's a ban, so you're not supposed to do that. So now that you've done that, maybe you will be taken out of the contest or disqualified. But it might be hallucinating. Onyenuga says, how can a judge tell an accused person that you are hallucinating? Well, maybe he's a scientist or maybe he's a doctor. Well, I wouldn't be errand boy for the executive, Bagbain says. Who is Bagbain? The Speaker of Parliament in Ghana. Well, a lot more going to be coming your way from there. Adjo Asafo asked to report to work or be dismissed as minister. Report says. Anaforiata must come before Parliament to relay proposed budget modification. Who is speaking? The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbain, after his return from the UAE. Alright, and this is all coming your way from Star Radio UK. We're going to take a quick break. We come back and we're going to go into the updates from Nigeria. But I beseech you, brethren, by the mercies of God, to share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
This is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave?
We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It's now gone exactly 9 minutes past the top of the hour, and let's go to Nigeria for the updates from Nigeria for all our Nigerian listeners and those of you even not from Nigeria. It is good to know exactly what is happening from across the globe. Okay, now what is happening in Nigeria today? As I said earlier on, the mass starvation. Governor Guwanyi has made businesses thrive in Enugu. That's what all the boss is saying. And APC governors felicitate with President Muhammadu Buhari, Governor Bello on birthdays. Well, it's the president's 79th birthday. Buhari at 79, true back. Okay. And then Buhari has taken Nigeria to enviable heights. Interesting. You know, I like it. I like it when you have people singing the praises. Though at times you just look back and you ask yourself, "Hello, what are you talking about there?" But well, there are some of the updates coming away from Nigeria. Niger State government working to flash out bandits, criminal elements. That's what the commissioner is saying. And there are a lot more going to be coming your way. Let me still bring you some of the headlines before we go into details. Okay, and then U.S. Nigeria fraudster Invictus Obi will be released in 2028. Nigeria holds workshop on post COP26 implementation. Really, and what do we think we are going to be doing about that? Okay. Well, some people are saying that Buhari is a very, very humble person. Buhari's house is modest. He doesn't live in massive Hilton mansions like Babangida and Obasanjo. No. He lives in a very modest place. Yeah, so he's kind of cool. Okay, well, somebody will say, well, if you are living in a modest edifice and you can still not saw the life of people, what have you done? But some people are of the view that it's done good. It's done good. Why not? If it's done good, his praise needs to be sung. What do you think about that? Well, there's a lot more we're going to be looking at, but stay tuned. The Niger government has restarted its commitment to flash out bandits and other criminal elements in the state. Mr. Emmanuel Umar, the State Commissioner of Local Government and Internal Security, disclosed this in an interview with newsmen shortly after a meeting with the State Assembly Committee on Local Government. Government is working towards increasing support to law enforcement agencies and conventional security organizations to mitigate against banditry activities ongoing. In the quote, he said, "I can assure you that efforts are on to flash out these bandits and criminal elements out of the state, as well as mitigate their activities." We hope that they will be able to do so, because it's been one too many when it comes to what is happening in Nigeria. Well, but the CNG has given Buhari 3 months to resolve insecurity in the north or face mass action. The coalition of northern groups has given, that's the CNG, has given the President Muhammadu Buhari and the Nigerian government a 3 months ultimatum to resolve the lingering insecurity in the north or face massive shutdown of states in the region. The CNG, which gave the ultimatum after a stakeholders meeting held in Sokoto State on Thursday, decried the high rate. Okay, just bear with me. Okay, yes, decried the high rate of criminal activities ranging from banditry, kidnapping to armed robbery that has escalated in the northwest, resulting in the killing and abduction of hundreds of Nigerians. Now it goes on further to say, in a communique issued at the end of the meeting, the CNG said it will mobilize youths in the northwest to ground activities in the zone until government dealt with the problems of banditry and other violent crimes in the next 3 months. It goes on further to say the communique, which was signed by the Sokoto State Coordinator of the CNG, Isa Jabi Osman, on behalf of the group, blamed the activities of the outlawed volunteer vigilantes group known as Yan Sakai for the escalation of violence in most parts of the northwestern states. Now, Osman lamented the escalating insecurity, particularly in Sokoto, and called for immediate action to address the situation once and for all, while faulting both the federal and state governments for not acting promptly to tame the situation at its initial stage. We, in a quote, he said, "We hereby place the authorities on notice that if the killings and abductions are not significantly or totally controlled within the next 3 months, mass action will be called, and that will not prelude occupying all towns in all frontline states and the Federal Capital Territory, that's Abuja. Osman said the issue of banditry in the northwestern part of the country is quite alarming, and the government, or at both the states and federal levels, are not doing anything to curb it. Now, with that threat or ultimatum, do you think the government is going to do something about it, or it's just going to be same old, same old? What do you think about all that? It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The final story from Nigeria this morning that I want to touch on: the indigenous people of Biafra on Friday declared, that's today, they have declared its leader Nnamdi Kanu as a prisoner of conscience. IPOB said Kanu, who is in the custody of the Department of State Services, the DSS, was arrested by committing no offense. Now, Ima Powerful, the spokesperson of IPOB, said its leader only advocated for self-determination due to the perceived oppression of the Southeast. A statement of Powerful reads: following the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria without proper documentation for doing so, and long incarceration and detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS custody, we, the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra, wish to state categorically that the people of the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is now declared prisoner of conscience. In 2015, Nnamdi Kanu was first arrested and subjected to an egregious violation of his fundamental rights after his miraculous escape from the military invasion of his home in 2017. He was abducted in Kenya and rendition to Nigeria in June this year. He has since been in the custody of the DSS. And well, sometime last week and the week before, we had some leaders of the Igbo, the Southeast. We had some leaders of the Southeast who went on to talk about what was happening there, and hopefully we were thinking that something might have come out from the back. As the case remains, we will be following it. He's still in custody, and we'll see what happens from there. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll continue with the show. It is Starr Radio UK. Don't you go away. That brings us to the end of the updates from Nigeria. But let me now bring you this song from Diana Hamilton. It's one of my lovely ones that I bring your way every Friday. God has kept us, hasn't he? Enjoy this and I'll be with you.
Take me
Well, he watches over you, he watches over me, and that is why we are still alive, well, and kicking. So wherever you are this morning, it might be that maybe you're going through some tumultuous situation, or situations that you think that, oh my goodness, why me? But I want you to be rest assured that there is a God who watches over you. That's why you have not become a prey to the enemy of your soul. Yes, it's all Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Alright then, now let's look at some of the stories making the rounds here in other parts of the world. Wow. The shocker of elections. Well, somebody was saying that, well, we were anticipating that was going to happen, and therefore it's not a shocker per se. It's not a shocker per se. But what do you think? Well, the Tory MPs, yes, God is good. Yes, God is good. The Tory MPs have actually now started. Is it ganging? Would I put it that way? But the Lib Dems deliver a shock by election win blow to the Prime Minister. Is the headlines that is making the rounds this morning. Now, Tory MPs asked not to speak publicly until Johnson reacts to it. Meanwhile, in Westminster, the Tory whips, essentially party managers, have been texting backbenchers asking them not to speak out on the result and to wait and hear what the Prime Minister says. That we haven't heard yet from Boris Johnson, but he is expected to speak later. Now, given the scale of the party's defeat, they will no doubt be listening carefully to what he has to say. Now, some Tory MPs, including Sir Roger Gale, John Redwood, and Sir Charles Walker, have spoken to media about the defeat this morning. Now, this is the moment the new Liberal Democrat MP Helen Morgan burst the Boris bubble following her win in the North Shropshire by-election. It says alongside fellow MP Daisy Cooper and former party leader Tim Farron, she took a pin to a blue bubble to celebrate her victory. Well, you know, they all celebrate in Starr. The other time there was the Lib Dems leader who was using a hammer to break is it a cardboard wall, a blue cardboard wall in another by-election. But he said that speaking at the rally in Oswestry, Tim Farron says his party's victory in North Shropshire shows there is a price to pay for the government taking the people for granted. The result is the people of North Shropshire speaking for the people of Britain, saying enough is enough. We will not be taken for granted and things can be better than this. He thanks Labour and Green voters who chose to lend us their vote yesterday, adding, we are grateful from the bottom of our hearts for that brave decision. So is it Labour voters who decided to lend their helping hand to the Lib Dems? So what was the stance of the Lib Dems? Were they, I mean, looking at it, maybe when it comes to past elections, they were the ones who were always second. If that was what it says, then that's good. But if not, and Labour has been second and now find themselves in third position, then I think that Labour has also got lots of work to do, lots of ground to, actually to cut. But, well, how come that the Conservative lost one of their safest seats in the to the Liberal Democrats, one of the biggest upset in recent electoral history? The story says that, well, the Conservatives have held that seat for almost 200 years. Now, questions over Christmas parties in Downing Street undoubtedly ignited the North Shropshire by-election campaign. But before that, opposition parties had already picked up a sense of people in this safe rural Tory seat feeling undervalued and overlooked. Both the Liberal Democrats and Labour push the idea of conservative voters being taken for granted, pointing to leveling up, money going to formerly rock-solid Labour red wall areas in the Midlands and Northern England rather than North Shropshire. The risk of the Conservatives is that same sense generated in this by-election is replicated in other Tory heartlands. Okay, so well, the Tories have, the Lib Dems have won, but what is going to be the case now? In other, okay, North Shropshire is the final election for the 2021. Okay, so now, so Mary Hartlepool, the contestants were Mary Hartlepool, who was a Conservative gain from Labour, and then May. Okay. My apologies. That is a summary of the by-elections that have taken place. In May, Hartlepool, Conservative gained from Labour, and then in that same May, Ardrey and Short, Scottish National Party, held on, and then in June, Chesham and Amersham, Lib Dem gained from Conservatives, and then in July, Bartley and Spen, Labour held on, and in December, Old Bexley and Sidcup, Conservative, held on. And December, there's this recent one, that was yesterday's one, North Shropshire, Lib Dem gain from Conservatives. But is this a sign of what is going to happen in the future? Well, we'll see what happens from there. It's all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 11:28, and it is the Friday edition of the morning show. Now, still moving on to some other stories making the rounds here in the UK. A woman has been arrested after 4 boys die in a house fire. The story says that a 27-year-old woman has been arrested on suspicion of child neglect after 2 sets of young twins were killed in a house fire in South London. The children, all boys, aged 3 and 4, were given CPR by firefighters called to Collingwood Road in Sutton. All of the 4 boys had been left alone or left home alone and were taken to 2 separate hospitals where they later died. The London Fire Brigade said the cause of Thursday's evening's fire is under investigation. The London Fire Brigade Deputy Commissioner Richard Mills said the first firefighters arrived under 3 minutes after being called before 19 hours GMT. On arrival, there were 4 children in the house. Mr. Mills said entering the building and rescuing life is always a very difficult place to be. The age of the children, the fact they were so young, will have a profound impact on them, the firefighters, as it says. The cause of the fire is currently unknown, and we have fire investigation teams on the scene at present along with the Metropolitan Police to determine the cause of the fire. But what happened for you to leave kids, boys especially, 3 and 4 years old, to cater for themselves? Is it that she was just rushing out to go get something quickly to come and give it to them? Or what exactly happened? Maybe there was supposed to be a babysitter who was supposed to come in to come and see, and the babysitter never came, or what? But once again, let me put it this way. May their souls rest in perfect peace. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay. Well, Omicron storm warning prompts nightclub closure, and that is what is happening in Wales. Now, Wales must embrace itself for the storm of Omicron. The First Minister has warned nightclubs will close in Wales after the 26th of December in response to the rising number of cases of the variant. Now, social distancing will also be reintroduced in shops and workplaces. Mark Drakeford also said more decisions on COVID restrictions will be made on Monday, in particular with regards to sports, events, and further measures on extended households after Christmas. He said, in Wales is in the calm before the storm, and we see the storm of Omicron coming our way, and we need to prepare for it now. Mr. Drakeford pleaded with people to have smaller Christmas and avoid meeting wider circles of friends. However, this is only a guidance, so it's not a strict restriction, but it's up to you. Use your heads. Okay. The Chancellor is to hold Omicron crisis talks with businesses. Yesterday, there were people critiquing him, saying that, well, there is crisis going on in the country, and he was in a conference somewhere in the US. So then he had to just fly back to the country. Now, the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, is set to meet business leaders for crisis talks on Friday as firms warn of lost bookings. Now, fears about the Omicron variant of coronavirus have prompted many people to cancel Christmas dinners, parties, hitting businesses. Now, hospitality firms and business groups told the Chancellor their trading situation was deteriorating rapidly. Mr. Sunak said the government would do whatever it takes to support jobs, but the funding was already available. This includes £250 million that has been provided to local authorities for grants to support businesses. On Tuesday, Mr. Sunak was in California but held a hastily convened call with representatives from business groups and companies, including Federation of Small Businesses, the CBI, UK Hospitality, and senior executives from Green King, Nando's, and Whitebread, which owns Costa and Premier Inn. Now, the Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Simon Clark, was also on the call. Attendees described the Chancellor in listening mood. The participants said Mr. Sunak appreciated the situation was deteriorating rapidly. The Chancellor asked what kind of assistance they were looking for, and there were specific requests for an extension of the discounted VAT rate of 12.5% beyond its scheduled end on the 1st of April. The participants also requested a deferral of any business rates due in the first quarter of 2022 and grants to businesses in most dire need. And I tell you for sure, businesses need a bailout, something. Should I call it? It's not a bounce back now. An absorber, a shock absorber support for them to be able to go through this treacherous time once again. It's now 11:34 from the House of London. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to be crossing over to other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, but before then, let's quickly touch on this. Those of you who want to fly to France, free flight to France, okay, for Christmas. Well, it's not free flight though. Now, ports are reporting long queues to board ferries, and Eurostar has advised ticketless customers to avoid St. Pancras Station ahead of a ban on travel to France at 23 hours today. Now, most of the rail operators services are sold out after a rise in bookings in response to the COVID restrictions announced by France on Thursday. Many flights are fully booked, and there are 2-hour waits at Dover. France said the ban was due to UK's surge in Omicron cases. The ban will mean that only those with compelling reasons will be able to travel between the UK and France after 23 hours, and tourist or business trips will not be permitted. By 09 hours Friday at Dover, P&O Ferry said people were having to queue for 2 hours at border control and a further 30 minutes at check-in. The company said it will put anyone who missed their departure time on the next available ferry. Eurotunnel also reported a large amount of traffic. Well, kudos to them. As many who want to travel out, well, I hope that people are doing their tests and making sure that they are okay, so that they don't get there going to infect other people and stuff like that. But when it comes to tourism or just visits, no, that is no more. Business trips and tourism, yes, that is not permitted. Well, So it's Starr Radio UK, 11:36 the time. As I announced earlier on, exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions wherever you might find yourself. Let's take a quick break. We come back and I bring you some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. It is Starr Radio UK. It is a Friday edition of the morning show.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do that?
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to exactly 11:39, or call it 11:40. Yes, and it is the Friday edition of the morning show. Pretty soon it will be Christmas. Yes, somebody say it's beginning to look a lot more like Christmas everywhere you go. It's only that I went to the town center the other time, that Croydon town center, and the Christmas decoration, that the lights that were there was quite disheartening. Now I asked myself the question: is it because Croydon is broke? Well, they should contact some of us business people, and I think we will help in donating for some decorations to be put up there. What about that? Because it is very disheartening. Because unless this is your first time of going there, but if you've lived in that area, or you've been to those areas in the past during Christmas time, and you look at what decorations and what things go on there, the lights and everything, and you see what is there now, let me leave it. Okay, but as I said, it's beginning to look a lot more like Christmas. Have you gotten all your gifts and your parcels, and have you wrapped them all? Some of us, I call some of us lastminute.com. Okay, don't be like that. Okay, let me say good morning also to Chris Fadderly, who is the CEO of GabiDave Global.com. GabiDave is a trading platform where you go there, you just, you know what, just whether you are in Africa, whether in Caribbean, once you have registered, you just go there. It's a platform where you can trade. And we want to encourage each and every one of us who are involved in such trades to go there and do so. So we'll take a commercial break from them, and then we'll come back to have a look at the rest of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Stay tuned.
Welcome to GabiDave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at GabiDave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At GabiDave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. So if you are a trader, maybe in somewhere on the African continent, you want to reach out to other parts of the world, please make sure you hop on that. Go to gabbydave.com, www.gabbydavglobal.com. Yes, and you have all the links. But it's a good opportunity that has come our way, and I want you to also take advantage of that. If you are a trader, you want to buy or you want to sell, yes, go there. It's a good platform. Okay. E-commerce. All right then. Now let's move on to some of the other stories making the rounds this morning in other parts of the world. First of all, a search warrant has been issued for Alec Baldwin's phone. Why is it? Are they thinking that maybe it got something to do with the shooting? Well, as we know, he's the one who was holding the gun at the time, but he is saying that he didn't. In an interview, I think sometime last week or last 2 weeks, he was saying that I didn't shoot, I didn't press the trigger. So if he didn't press the trigger, how come that the gun discharged? Was it an automatic something that caused it to discharge? Well, I'll be bringing you more on that. And again, Ghislaine Maxwell team call false memory expert. Now, defense attorney says Miss Maxwell's accusers fell prey to money, manipulation, and lapses in memory, and therefore they are calling in what? False memory experts. Now, how can well, I don't know. We'll be following it very closely. We'll be following it very, very closely, and then we'll see what is happening on that front. The Medal of Honor for first black soldier since Vietnam, Sergeant Alwyn Kosh, who was among 3 U.S. veterans to receive the highest U.S. military award. We'll be looking into that story as well. Why don't we celebrate him? We have to celebrate him. We are an African and Caribbean radio station, and if any one of us does anything good, we celebrate them. What about that? And if you're in the U.S. panel wants J&J, Johnson & Johnson job sidelined over clot deaths. Now, 9 people have died from extremely rare side effects linked to Johnson & Johnson jab. But thank God we are not using the Johnson & Johnson jab here in the UK, and therefore I would say, well, some people are saying, but what about other countries who are using that, and how safe are people? You know, I don't know, but I hope that in some of the African countries are not using that, because we don't do ourselves any good. We don't scrutinize things to make sure that they are taken along nicely. So far as somebody has said it, especially so far as somebody from advanced country has said it, oh, quickly we just take it. We don't see whether even in our own environment whether it will work the same way. Not sure about that. Well, I hope that our scientists there are doing same to actually scrutinize everything before they are used, so that people who are dying, maybe a handful, something might happen, maybe a couple of people might die. But are we doing any research about it, or is it one of those things where, oh, okay, somebody just died and we just move on and we just move on because maybe the person is not related to us? Okay. Now, the first story talks about the police are investigating the fatal shooting. Police investigating the fatal shooting on the set of the Alec Baldwin film. Russ has obtained a search warrant for the actor's phone. Now, cinematographer Helena Hutchins died on it, and director Joel Souza was injured in October when Mr. Baldwin was rehearsing drawing a prop gun. Now, Mr. Baldwin, 63, has insisted he didn't pull the trigger. The warrant was issued by a Senate Fair Court in New Mexico, the state where Russ was being filmed. It says there may be evidence on the phone that could be material and relevant to the investigation. Now, investigators asked to confiscate Mr. Baldwin's Apple iPhone that is believed to be in his possession. They wanted to look at text messages, emails, web browser history, and other information stored on the phone. It comes 2 weeks after the star gave his first TV interview about the incident, in which he said he did not pull the trigger, but the gun went off anyway. I will never point a gun at anyone and pull a trigger at them. Never, he said to George Stephanopoulos of the ABC. Now, Mr. Borden said he had been told it's highly unlikely that I will be charged with anything criminally. The actor said he is fully cooperating with the police investigation into the shooting. No criminal charges have been brought against anyone. It's going to be quite an interesting one. Who caused what? Who did what? And who has caused the life of this lady to be lost and another person injured there as well? It's all coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So on the in the US, my apologies, in the US. Now, the US has passed an Uyghur forced labor bill. The bill overcame opposition from Coca-Cola, Nike, and Apple, and initial lack of White House support. So the Uyghur, so now they cannot use the Uyghur people to manufacture those things in China. What are they? Well, let me bring you details of that. The U.S. Congress has passed a bill that requires companies to prove that goods imported from China's Xinjiang region were not produced with forced labor. The U.S. has accused China of genocide in its repression of the predominantly Muslim Uyghur minority there, a charge that China has repeatedly rejected. The bill had been criticized by major companies that do business in the area, including Coca-Cola, Nike, and Apple. Its passage also overcame initial lack of support from the White House. It was approved by the Senate on Thursday with a vote of every member of the Congress except one. Now, Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, as the bill is formally known, now heads to the desk of President Joe Biden to be signed into law. For months, the White House avoided taking a stance on the legislation, but earlier this week, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said Mr. Biden will sign it. Now, to what end? Now, they are saying we are not using forced labor. Now, what about people or let's say let's take a place like DRC, okay, Democratic Republic of Congo, where they go mining taking all this what do you call it, mineral that is used for these batteries or the cells in mobile phones, and even now that they said they've run short of some for cars as well, or automobile as well. Now you ask yourself the question, now the school kids who are supposed to be in school but are being used there to mine this, and these people go there and go take them, have they legislated anything of the sort in the interest of our people? But is it because they want to flex their muscle when it comes to China, because they think that China is being a threat, and therefore think that they have to do all those things to bring the economy down or to bring them to their knees? Is that what they're trying to do there? What do you think? It's quite an interesting one. Well, we hope that one good turn deserves another. So if they're doing for the Uyghur people, why wouldn't they do it for the African continent and those poor communities? Let's talk about Nigeria. Let's talk about the Delta State. Look at the devastation that is happening there when it comes to the oil wells there and the pollution that has gone on there. Have they legislated anything of the sort? Or because we've not got a mouth, or we've not got teeth to bite? Well, it's interesting. But it's all coming away from Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Finally, from the US. Now, Biden has granted Medal of Honor to the first black soldier since Vietnam. And US President Joe Biden has bestowed the nation's highest military award on 3 soldiers, including the first black serviceman to receive the decoration since Vietnam War. Army Sergeant Alwyn Cash died of burns suffered while rescuing soldiers from a flaming armored vehicle in Iraq. Now, he also became the first black soldier to receive the Medal of Honor during the U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. 2 other troops credited with saving lives were also given the award. Sergeant Cash, 35, died after a roadside bomb detonated under the Bradley fighting vehicle he was commanding in October 2005, igniting its fuel tank. Now, after he and other soldiers extinguished the flame that had engulfed their driver and pulled him to safety, his uniform, which was drenched in petrol, caught fire. Now, with a second and third degree burns covering nearly 75% of his body, he one by one rescued 6 soldiers and 1 Iraqi interpreter from the vehicle, all while taking enemy fire. He died from his injuries about 3 weeks after the attack. A well-deserved one. My goodness. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And to the families, once again, our condolences. Wow. It is Starr Radio UK. Now let's move on straight to some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. And this time around, going straight to the Latin American area, where a Mexican actress has been shot dead while waiting for her son. Now, the story says that a Mexican actress, singer was shot dead while she waited to pick up her 11-year-old son from a football academy in the state of Morelos. Reports say Tania Mendoza was outside a sporting complex in the city of Cuernavaca with other parents when 2 armed men arrived on a motorbike on Tuesday. One of them shot her multiple times before escaping with his accomplice. At least 10 women were murdered in the country every day last year, according to official data. I was thinking, that's why I was going back and forth. Now, at least 10 women were murdered in the country every day last year, according to official data. Now, human rights group Amnesty International said around a third of victims, 940, were cases of femicide or the intentional murder of women because of their gender, calling it a shocking epidemic. Now, Mendoza was 42, rose to fame in 2005 after a lead role in the film La Mera Reina del Sur. She had also appeared in a number of soap operas, but in recent years was dedicated to her career as a singer and recorded 5 albums. Okay, may her soul rest in perfect peace. In a community where that is done, I don't actually even know what to think. To that extent, gee, wow. It is Starr Radio UK. Now, moving on straight 6 minutes to the top of the hour, Israel has imposed a travel ban on UK and Denmark. The 2 countries are being added to COVID-19 red list due to concerns over the Omicron variant. So, if you're traveling that way, be rest assured that you're going to face some restrictions there. Don't you go away. Now, in Australia, Australia is mourning children who have been killed in the bouncy castle. I didn't announce that. I think yesterday 5 children died and 4 others were injured when a wind gust blew away the castle at a school fair. And Australia is mourning them, and we say may their souls rest in perfect peace. And at least 27 people are feared dead in Japan's building fire. It's a story that broke this morning. It said police are investigating whether the blaze was started deliberately. The public broadcast has said the victim suffered a cardiopulmonary arrest, a term often used in preliminary reports before a death is officially confirmed, reports say. Now, footage showed blackened windows after dozens of firefighters extinguished the blaze on the 4th floor. All of those feared dead were reportedly in a psychiatric clinic on the 4th floor of the building, located in the busy commercial and entertainment district. Emergency services were alerted shortly after 10 o'clock, that is 10 o'clock local time, that is 1 a.m. 1 a.m. GMT on Friday. There was lots of dark smoke. One eyewitness said there was a very strong smell too. Another witness said she saw a woman in the building calling for help. When I looked outside, I saw orange flames at the 4th floor window. She told the Kojo News a woman was waving her hands for help from the 6th floor. Now, some people were evacuated from the building by fire crew using ladders. But it's a sad one. It's a sad one where the people who had mental ailment and therefore could not think things through for themselves and were left there and have lost their lives. Well, again, sad things continue to happen during these times of the year. And we say once again, may their souls rest in perfect peace. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The final story this time around coming your way from India. An opposition lawmaker in the southern Indian state of Karnataka has apologized for joking about rape. There is a saying that when rape is inevitable, lie down and enjoy it. The Congress leader K.R. Ramesh Kumar said in a reply to Speaker Vishwesha Hedge Kageri's remark on chaos in the state assembly. Now, Mr. Kageri and some other lawmakers laughed in response, but Mr. Kumar had to apologize after the statement drew outrage. On Friday, he said in the assembly that he was apologizing with an open heart to anyone who was hurt by the remark. He goes on further to say in a quote, "I had no intention of insulting women or lowering the prestige of the assembly or joking about it. I had no ulterior motive," Mr. Kumar said. His controversial remarks on Thursday was made after Mr. Kageri expressed his helplessness at not being able to control lawmakers. "You know, Ramesh Kumar, I now feel that we should just enjoy the situation. I've decided to give up on trying to control and streamline this situation. I will just let them talk," said the speaker. Now, women lawmakers from the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party and Mr. Kumar's Congress Party called his remarks insensitive and threatened to protest against it. When we came to the assembly, we looked up to Ramesh Kumar for his parliamentary acumen, but it looks like he has no respect for women, said the BJP legislator Ponima Srivinas, who also criticized Mr. Kageri, laughing. A woman who faces sexual assault suffers trauma all her life. It is wrong to use this as an analogy for something else, said Congress lawmaker Rapukala M. Well, that is a very, very bad analogy to make, but well, he did, and he has come back to apologize. What do you do to somebody like that? So coming your way from Starr Radio UK, it's now gone almost 12 o'clock. And let me announce the lines open, then we take a musical break, and then we come back. Now, if you want to join in the conversation, call me on 0208 133 2257 or 58. 0208 133 2257 or 58. Those of you in the US or Canada or in the Caribbean area, it's 0017183032737, 0017183032737. You can also text or WhatsApp me. It is 07539661744, 07539661744. Our Twitter handle is @Starr Radio UK and the email address is info@starradiouk.com. Yes, still going on. So we take a musical break and we come back and we continue with the program. Some Christmas tune for you.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe helps to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry, Merry Christmas to you. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the hills we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun to laugh and sing a sleighing song tonight. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling, now we go. Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling through the snow. Christmas bells are ringing. Joyous voices sweet and clear sing the sad of hearts to cheer. Ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling through the town. Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling up and down. Christmas bells are ringing. Mark ye well the songs we sing. Glad the tidings we all bring. Ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
This is Starr Radio UK.
And heaven and nature sing. Joy
You are listening to Starr Radio News.
the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King.
Welcome to Gabby Dave Global. We are a UK-based online e-commerce store, the first of its kind with license to trade in African products. Some of the products are clothing brands and all beauty accessories, hair and beauty brands, natural aphrodisiacs, processed and dried unprocessed food. Our mission at Gabby Dave is to connect African and Caribbean businesses to customers globally. At Gabby Dave, we ensure our sellers get the best deal for their products. We are not just here to help you reach a wider audience. We are also a distribution center to support business growth by fulfilling orders to your customers from our warehouse, making sure customers receive their products on time. We are inviting all Black-owned businesses to trade on our platform because we strongly believe Africans have a unique brand the customer would appreciate globally. So get in touch today and let us make your product and business go far. Here are some of the benefits of using Gabby Dave Global. User-friendly platform, track your shipment, online support, transparent process, multiple SKUs, multiple products, a platform that encourages manufacturers as well as traders. Our marketing and PR interventions amplifies yours. Organized products and categories for easy access and navigation. Access to global community, especially within UK and Europe.
Welcome back to the program. It is now gone 6 minutes past the top of the hour, and it's the final segment before we bring our money man on this afternoon for you. And if you have any comments or anything so far pertaining to everything that we discussed or the news that has made the rounds across the globe, feel free to add your voice to the discussion. The lines are all opened and all our contacts opened there as well. Now, Congo declares end to latest Ebola outbreak. It's some of the stories making the rounds on the African continent today, as they touched on earlier on. And then Madagascar is also inaugurating its international airport, and Zimbabwe hit by exodus of health professionals. So what is all that happening? Well, yes, it's true when it comes to Zimbabwe. I think that when you go to most of the NHS hospitals, you find out that there's lots of Zimbabwean doctors there, health workers there as well. Okay, but let's touch on this one first. The Congolese officials on Thursday announced an end to Ebola outbreak that had killed at least 6 people since October in the latest health challenge confronting the country's restive east. Now, the most recent outbreak erupted in North Kivu province, the same part of Congo, where more than 2,200 people died during an earlier Ebola epidemic that began in 2018. Now, Congolese health workers have been able to limit widespread infection and save lives. Dr. Mashidisu Moeti, the World Health Organization Regional Director for Africa, has said. Now, crucial lessons are being learned and applied with every outbreak experience, she said. Research has shown that the first case from the latest outbreak likely represented a new flare of the 2018-2020 Ebola outbreak due persistence of the virus in the community, WHO said yesterday. So, good luck to them. Yes, now that they've been able to curb it, we hope that measures are put in place. What are the causes of that? Well, Uganda, DR Congo armies continue offensive against the ADF. Uganda and the DR Congo military have continued offensive against the ADF rebels in the northeastern region of the Central African country. To what end? Ours was advocate for some talks. Well, you show them that I can crack down you, but you still talk. Negotiation, talking, jaw is a way forward, not just bombing your way out. You bomb your way out, tomorrow someone else will rise and come and bomb you as well. But someone will tell you that, well, if you don't do it, but first people fail to listen to you or act the way that you expect them to do, what do you expect to do to them? The Ivorian government on Thursday resumed dialogue with 21 opposition parties in a bid to bring unity to the West African country. In attendance were various government officials of the ruling party, former President Henry Konan Biedie and Laurent Gbagbo, respectively head of the Democratic Party of Cote d'Ivoire and the Party for African People, that is the PPA. Patrick Archie is the third prime minister in 3 years to convene these discussions initiated in 2019 and which are entering their fifth phase. The times of crisis are over. Ivorians are looking towards the future and development. The framework of our exchanges must fit into this new national reality and this new positive dynamic for Cote d'Ivoire and for Ivorians, said the Prime Minister. And we will be there on Tuesday with our proposals and our contributions for a lasting peace in this country, said George Aman Ogenenin, a member of Laurent Gbagbo's party. Now, it goes on further to say the 20 or so political parties, groups, let me put it that way, present had until Friday evening to send the government their proposals for their themes and subjects to be debated. According to Pascal Afi Ngwesan of the opposition FPI party, many issues have been pending for a long time. In a quote, it goes on further to say, our hope is that this dialogue will enable the political class to agree on the essential, and the essential things is peace and stability in Ivory Coast, said Pascal Afi Ngwesan, president of the FPI. Well, that's a good one. So that's when I say jaw instead of war, because it has never, and will never sort the situation out. Okay. Now, let's move on straight to some of the other stories there as well. I was trying to touch on one story from the African front that talked about the African Cup of Nations that's going to be taking place in January, right? Okay. AFCON fans need proof of vaccine test, and that is what is coming through from there. Now, only fans who have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and have a proof of a negative test in the run-up to the game can attend January's Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon, organizers have said. In a joint statement from Cameroon's government and football association, FECAFOOT, as well as the Confederation of African Football, CAF, the tournament has been reconfirmed as going ahead between the 9th of January and the 6th of February. Now, 24 teams, some of whom will feature major Premier League stars like Egypt Mohamed Salah, Senegal Sadio Mahrez, and Riyad Mahrez of defending champions Algeria, are set to take part. The government has devised an elaborate special sanitary anti-COVID protocol for the Nations Cup, the statement had said. Okay, so kudos. We hope that they put every measure in place so that people will not lose their lives or there will not be a flare-up of infections there. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Now we have landed in Ghana. Now, interestingly, as I touched on earlier on, when I touched the headline, the friends of Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia in Kumasi are busy replacing all single image giant billboards of the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, to various vantage locations in Kumasi. The two billboards cited as Swami Roundabout and Swami Total Fuel stations are captioned Friends of Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia welcome all delegates to National Delegates Conference. The new billboards are contrary to the party's directive, which banned all party members with the intent to contest any higher position in the party from campaigning. The action by the regional minister Simon Osei Mensah and national executives of the party has created tension among the various factions in the party who believe the party is being biased against other prospective aspirants for other positions. And responding to happenings in Kumasi, former Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly presiding member Abraham Buedi said, the party told us to remove all the billboards we mounted in Kumasi for Alan Chermantin, which was only welcoming delegates to Kumasi for the conference. The party said we indirectly campaigning ahead of the party's regional and national internal elections. We have to abide by the party's directive without hesitating. But we have seen what Dr. Bawumia's camp is doing. Now currently his billboards with his image and the president Nana Addo Dankwa is resurfacing with boldly sponsored by friends of Dr. Bawumia. He is not still campaigning. Is he not still campaigning ahead of time? He questioned. He said, friends of Alan Kojo Chermantin are aware of all the evil agenda some faceless cowards are doing, stating nobody can intimidate them before, during, and after the delegates conference. Well, the party told us to play according to the rules of the game, but why are some people being given the chance to campaign ahead of time? The director of communications for MPP in the Ashanti region told some news agency that no individual party member has invited delegates for the conference. Therefore, they have no authority to mount billboards to welcome delegates to the conference. Well, interesting. Now, so this is the first year of the second term. Now, the other time the president made a statement that if any one of them is interested in campaigning, running for that, then they should resign and go and do that. So are we going to say that I'm going to call him the prime minister, the vice president will also resign and go on his campaign trail? What do you think? Do you think that is going to be fair? Do you think that is going to be done? Because he's a vice president, he doesn't need to resign. Okay, well, we'll see what happens when it comes to that, but for sure it's going to happen once again. Well, the Minister of National Security, Albert Kandapa, has refused to disclose the cost of recent trips of President Akufo-Addo to France, Belgium, and South Africa using a chartered, luxurious private jet. According to the minister, the cost of such trips are borne by the operational funds of the National Security Ministry and thus cannot be disclosed. Now, answering questions from North Tongo MP Samuel Kujata Blakwa, Kandapa argued such information cannot be disclosed for security reasons. Now, if you tell me that we spent £1,000 for flight from Ghana to South Africa for the president, what's the security risk there? Unless, of course, I tell you that, oh, well, we flew in some banga aircraft, and therefore the chances that if the president is flying that one and maybe a missile is shot at it, the plane can just come down and blah blah blah, that would be different. So what are they trying to come or term security what risk and all that stuff that they are using now? Well, how much did it cost? Well, when the military go to buy jets and all that stuff, don't they account for it? Or as for the military or the security apparatus, when they are buying stuff or they are spending anything, they don't account for it because they are the security. Interesting. Not even a challenge from Okujato of such an assertion could get the minister to reveal the cost of, as advised by former Minister of State in charge of National Security, Brian Champon. Now, Mr. Speaker, recent official travels to France, Belgium, and South Africa by President Akufo-Addo are paid for out of the operational funds from the Ministry of National Security. Now, Mr. Speaker, payments out of the ministry's operational funds are glued with rules of confidentiality and state secrecy, and it's not the normal practice to make the suggested disclosure. So how do they give them their budgets? They never come to account for whatever thing that they spend their monies on, or they just say travels 20 million. That's all, not breaking it down. But that would be a very good place to go and be stealing money, isn't it? Well, it is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In the next 9 minutes, 11 minutes, we will be touching down in Kent, where we'll be having a chat with our money man. So stay tuned and don't you go away. Some more stories coming your way in or from Ghana. Well, when it comes to the e-levy, the opposition party, the opposition in the minority in Parliament made lots of noise about it. We were thinking that maybe something good was going to come out of that, but it looks like no, it's not being that case. Government has presented a controversial e-transaction levy bill to Parliament. The bill still pegs the percentage of the deduction on electronic cash transaction at 1.75, despite expectations that the figure will be slashed marginally. The majority and minority in Parliament had standoff over the levy and the percentage involved. But well, as of now, however, a deputy finance minister, Abna Osei Asari, on Wednesday disclosed that ongoing consultation will influence the content of the final tax instrument that will be laid in Parliament. And in quote, she said, "I believe that we will bring the bill in, and hopefully, all things being equal, it will be laid in Parliament, and all of us will see everything stated clearly in the electronic transaction levy." Now, you can never finish consultation, so I cannot say consultations are over, but we have made very good progress in the consultation process, and I believe that it will reflect in the bill that we will be presented to Parliament, she said. Now, this is a country where the president has been flying up and down. We are saying that, now tell us how much the president has spent on his travels, recent travels, and say, no, security reasons, we can't tell you that. but they want more money from the what? Citizens. There are a lot of ventures that the past government undertook, which when this government came in should have continued with it. They decided to just leave it, and some of them have been left to rot, and that is state money that is being lost each day waste. But then the poor person who is making ends meet, they want to still tax them. And it is a country where we don't have social support for nobody. Well, maybe if they have, maybe they should tell me. But which of them? Even the pensions. See how people struggle to get the money. Well. It is Starr Radio UK coming to the tail end of this morning's show before we go to our Money Man. Well, the Speaker of Parliament has said that he's not going to be an errand boy for the executive. The Speaker of Parliament, Aldong Bagwen, has stated that he holds allegiance to the people of Ghana and will adhere to the promises he made when he took office. Addressing the House on Thursday after his trip to Dubai, Mr. Bagwen responded to a number of issues that had happened in his absence. Most prominent borders on the approval and rejection of the 2022 budget and the government's financial policy. Honorable members, in a quote, he said, to conclude on these matters, let me reiterate my solemn pledge to the people of Ghana, which I canvassed in my first formal communication to the House. I will not superintend over a parliament to frustrate government business, but I will equally not preside over a weak house or be tagged as an errand boy of the executive arm of government, he emphasized. Mr. Baldwin continued that this house is fully focused on discharging its mandate and will do so without any fear or favor, affection or ill will in ensuring the ultimate best interests of the Ghanaian people are set. He also indicated that despite the fact that the House has commenced deliberations, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta must present a revised version of the 2022 budget to Parliament. So when it presents that budget, is it going to pass? That is a big question that people seem to be asking this morning. But it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The final story. Adwoa Safo has been asked to report to work or be dismissed as minister. Reports are saying. An online report says she has been given an ultimatum to report to work or be dismissed. The report further indicated that Adwoa Safo wanted to travel out of the country until the president's ban. The Gender and Social Protection Minister seemed to have landed herself in a big trouble as she has failed to report to the ministry 2 weeks after she returned from her extended leave outside Ghana. Meanwhile, reporting 2 weeks after being in the country to get the 2022 budget statement of the government approved by Parliament, the minister has not been to her office to resume work. The report stated that Adwoa Safo has therefore been given a final ultimatum to report to work and be sacked from her ministerial role. The report alleged that Dome Kwabenya MP wanted to secretly travel out of the country, but the president later issued an executive order to ban all travels out of the country by his ministers and their deputies. Adwoa Safo's role at the Gender Ministry was being occupied temporarily by Cecilia Abena-Dapa when she took her annual leave. Before she took her leave, there were a number of controversial issues that overwhelmed the ministry, of which a sector minister, Adwoa Safo, took certain decisions but was later reversed by the presidency. Is it why she wants to, maybe some way, somehow, if you are undermining me or belittling whatever I'm doing, I think it's about time I step back? Is that what is happening? Well. It is Starr Radio UK. This is why I bring the first bit of the program to a halt or a close, and then we'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll bring in our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services, on the show. Stay tuned and don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been
something?
told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the
Darkness.
whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and intact? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination intact. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy. Okay, welcome back to the program. It's now gone 12:29, and we are going to be having a chat with our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, who is all geared up to, of course, to do what? To make sure that you enjoy the rest of the Christmas that you're supposed to. Okay, now interestingly, there have been a few scams here and there that he's going to be talking about during these times, because you don't take time, you fall prey to it, and then you fall and it hurts. It does hurt, but he is here and we are here this afternoon to bring you exactly that. So let me go to Mr. Tabiri now. Let me say a massive good afternoon to you, Mr. Tabiri. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Good afternoon, Archie.
How are you?
Lovely to be speaking to you again this afternoon.
Yes, so lovely to have you on. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, very well.
Yeah.
The weather has improved over the last few days or week or so. So trying to enjoy it as best as I can.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So he's enjoying the sunshine. While some people are crying, some people are enjoying, you see.
Well, that's life.
All right then. So please, what are we looking at today?
Today, just want to pick up on a conversation we started having a couple of weeks or so ago, mainly around the issues of scams scams, be it online scams, email, text. A lot of people get these emails or voicemail messages, purporting to be from HMRC regarding tax issues and all that. I want to delve into what some of these scams are, what people have experienced, how to spot them, and maybe if we have time, go on to look at also what to do if you have become a victim.
Okay, the other time when I spoke about when we're discussing, I did talk about the friend's wife who was scammed. I mean, when they received a call from the an alleged HMRC call saying that her tax something wasn't right, and then the person, the husband wasn't in, so you went to the panic frenzy, and then the next moment paid up to £2,000.
Oh dear.
So when the husband came and they said, they called, they said after blah blah blah, and there's complaint. The husband said, no, it's a scam.
Oh my God.
But she'd already parted with that money. I don't know whether she's managed to reclaim that money. And this morning, interestingly, whilst I was getting myself ready, I saw that I was expecting some calls. Then I saw that this number, I don't know it. Let me pick up. They said, your NI number has been used, blah, 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 blah. You have to. I was waiting patiently because I wanted to really talk to them. I pressed 1. And then they didn't. Then I decided to just hang up. Now, so it is something that is going on that if you are not, if you don't take care, you might fall prey to it, and it will be. So what are some of these scams going on, so that some of our listeners will know, those who don't know will know, and those who were not part of the program the last time we had a conversation on that will know as well.
Yeah. So first of all, I think is the first thing to establish is that HMRC will never contact you and ask you for your bank details or your personal information, or send you notification by email or text for things concerning tax rebate or refunds or personal payment information. HMRC will never do that. And if they have to contact you by phone, usually or email, they would quote your tax reference number.
That's right.
That is something that these scammers do not have, and so they would not be able to put it in a text or in an email. Some of these contacts come, as you've described. Some of the contacts, the scams we've had so far, either by text, and it will tell you you have a tax refund for this year, blah blah blah, and that contact us on this number or click 1, and then to contact us. And then once you contact them, they'll start to have the conversation with you, and they'll try to retrieve bank details, or sometimes in certain cases they manage to get people to hand over money to get their tax refund. Most common as well sometimes are emails, and then you'd get an email with and then in the email it has hmrc.gov.co something. It looks very realistic. If you are not very careful, it can catch anybody out. Also about refunds or tax rebates, and telephone calls have been coming in. We've seen the telephone calls coming where sometimes, as you described, they threaten you basically that you're going to go to jail or something, a tax fraud associated with your accounts or NI number. So we know all those kind of things are going on.
Well, listeners, if you don't know, now you know. Maybe you have some questions, maybe you had some experience and you want to share with us, or you want advice, as Amani is saying that, well, if you've fallen prey to that as well, we will be advising you maybe what you can do to do that. So, Mr. Tabiri, how do somebody spot this? Assuming somebody's gotten an email from HMRC, you look at initially at a quick glance, you can just say, oh, this is an email from HMRC. But when you go to reply it, you can see that those of us who scrutinize this will find out that no, that address there clicking on it doesn't go to the HMRC. Now, how will other people spot that out, sir?
Yeah, so you first of all check the email address carefully. What the scammers try to do is that they would set up an email address, sometimes even it's a Gmail or a Hotmail account with HMRC somewhere in between. So if you don't check the email address correctly, that's you get caught out. So that's one way to find out. So check the email address, check the full email address. It might have hmrc.gov.uk at hotmail.com or at Gmail or at whatever. But the email address of HMRC is not a Google account. It's a gov.co.uk account.
Yeah.
So it should be very easy.
Yeah. Okay.
You could also they sometimes capture. You take images from HMRC website, the logos and things like that, just to make it a bit more convincing. So look at it carefully. If you see an original image, sometimes the image is very poor quality, and you can see that this has been adapted from somewhere. Also check the language that they're using. The language is usually very threatening. They come across very aggressive.
Yeah.
Because the whole idea is to get you to react very quickly to them, not consult or get help from anywhere, so that before they are found out, they manage to grab your money and go. And also, if you get some of these things out of the blue, if it's unexpected, that is also something that you should be worried about. HMRC will not contact you out of the blue. Usually, if they have to call you about a tax debt or anything like that, or refunds, they would have sent actual letters in the post to you. So they won't get contact you out of the blue. And then also where the email is asking for personal details, also be warned. And also where sometimes they put in especially if it comes onto your phone via text message, they'll put a link in there to click on this link and then get in touch with us. Please don't click on any of such links, because they may have malware in those links, where they may take control over your phone and be able to access your bank accounts on your phone, or access your details, passwords, etc. that you have on your account, and take over completely. So those are the things that we need to watch out for.
Okay. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, Money Hour with our money man, Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GI Accountancy Services. Now, you have any issues pertaining to your accounting, name it, from archaeology to zoology, he will solve it out for you. Okay, if it's too tough, he will point you at the right direction. So in the right direction. So what about that? Make sure you listen to him all the time. There are lots of discussions I've had. If you go to our podcast session, they are all there. Or you go to the Starr Radio UK every Friday from 12:30. We have him on, and he's on today. And today we are looking at scams, various scams. Yes. Okay. Now, so. Let me leave it with you, then you can touch on the others and what people can do there as well. Over to you, sir.
So before we look at what actions to take if you receive some of these, what we need to notice that when they contact you, usually they use a tax rebate to entice you, get you interested. Especially at this time where people are struggling, with money and worried about their jobs and all that. These scams are thriving because they know people are worried and people are thinking about where the next money is going to come from. And so it's becoming very, very popular. They know that if they entice you with a tax rebate, you will be interested and you would follow their instructions. So they entice you, and then they ask for your personal details, your name, your address, your date of birth, and then they might ask you to confirm your bank or credit card details so that they make issue your repayment to you. In several instances, they've gotten so many details of people, even their mother's maiden names and all that. And once they get that information, they either use it or they sell that information on to other criminal gangs who use the details for all sorts of things. So as tempting as a rebate may sound, if you're not sure, you're interested, I would say get in touch. Find another way to get in touch with. If you receive such communication, get in touch with HMRC and find out about some of these, about the contact, whether it's real or not. If you are not expecting any rebate, like I said, it's very unlikely that out of the blue HMRC will email you about a tax rebate. Usually they would write to you in such instances. So that's something to watch out for. Tax phishing emails purporting to be from HMRC can happen at any time, but the most common times we see around the tax filing and tax payment deadline, because they know that around those times people expect HMRC contact. So it is another time that we see a heightened rise in the contacts in these camps, and so people need to be aware. So if you get those contacts around tax filing date or deadline, then just be aware or be cautious with that type of contact.
Okay, interesting.
So if you receive some of these, like we have discussed, if you receive an email or a text message with a link in it to send you or link you to a website, please don't put any personal details on there. Certainly do not click on the link, because it might have malware in there that would be used to steal information off your phone. So be very, 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 very cautious about that. Then we've looked at how to spot the signs of the emails, that they'll come usually with threatening language, especially the voicemail. Some of them, I've listened to one where they say, "We're sending the police to your door right now and you're going to jail." And you can imagine if you are an older person who is not savvy with all the online text, and you get a phone call on your landline, they target the elderly. And who are living by themselves, and they get some of these calls and they think it's genuine, it's authentic, and then they hand over loads of their savings to these groups. So it's a very, very serious matter. Do not share any personal details online. Usually they'll call you and say, especially they would mimic HMRC calls and try to make it look authentic, and then ask you to confirm some details so that they verify you, as the person they are talking to. That is a way in which they used to take details off you. So, for example, if you've got a password, HMRC will never ask you to confirm all of your passwords. If at all, they would ask you to confirm some letters or some digits in the password. You are aware of that. If they ask you to confirm your password, know that it's a scam. Do not give any information away easily. Now, if you come across any of these scams, HMRC have opened a portal or telephone number for people to report these suspicious calls, text or emails that they receive. If you forward it on to HMRC, they will look into it and try and get to the bottom of it, and hopefully to stop the scam or stop these people, duping people and stealing our money. Yes, so if you have managed to identify them as a scam, then you report it to HMRC. If you have fallen victim to the scam, then your only course of remedy is to report it to Action Fraud.
Action Fraud.
So call the Action Fraud hotline or report it online. Give them as much details as possible in terms of how the contact was made, any records that you have, telephone numbers for the contact, email address, the actual email or text messages that you receive, and everything that happened. If you give them the full information, then they will try some of these. They would have information on some of these scams because other people have been scammed as well.
Yeah.
But it would help them. It would help the police to be able to go after these people. And if you are lucky, they may be able to retrieve your money for you through the banking system.
And that was where I was coming to, because some people would think that, well, if my money cannot be retrieved or I cannot get my money back, then what's the point? And then some people decide, well, they just call it something that is lost, and then just decide to forget about it. But I don't think that is something that they have to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's important that we stop these people. These scams are ongoing because obviously they have been successful in very successful, I must say, in other cases. So they are making a lot of money doing these scams, and we need to report it. We need to stop it. If you are able to spot it, remember that somebody else might be a victim. Okay, out of every 100 that spots this scam, there are about at least five people who are not able to spot it, and they become victims to this kind of crime. So it's important to report anything that comes across.
But if assuming I'm with somebody, or maybe in the office or somewhere, and then I can see that is a scam, that the person is the person feeling that is the truth, and so feeling that that is being convinced to do something about it. Do you think that if I'm advising the person is not okay, can I call the HMRC or this the Action Fraud to help the person in that step?
Absolutely. I mean, HMRC, they are, what we need to understand, that they are vulnerable people for all sorts of reasons in our society, and they are the ones who fall victim most to some of these scams. So if you are a good neighbor, if I can call it that way, then you have to help out. It might seem so obvious to you, some of these scams, but for some people, they're going through so many issues, so many things in their life. Sometimes their head is not even straight, and some of these things come along and they make all the wrong decisions. So definitely HMRC will be happy to speak to anybody who is willing to help another person deal with this scam situation.
Okay, so you see, if you are listening to us, you could be your neighbor's keeper. Okay, you could be your neighbor's keeper. If you see that the person is falling prey to that, please help out, and you can call the Action Fraud line. But Mr. Tabiri, before we round up everything, can you just sum it all up nicely, and then we can put your contact details across for listeners to know? He is the CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, and you have anything from A to Z when it comes to accounting, you have to just contact him, and I promise you will see the difference in there, from rates to what, name it. Okay, so over to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Yeah, so I think you've summed it up beautifully. We all need to be Internet keeper. And also to remember, HMRC will not contact you on social media, will not contact you on Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter. No, HMRC still uses their main forms of communication is by letter. They have to contact you by text or email. They would definitely would have contacted you by letters before. So you would not, out of the blue, receive text messages concerning refunds or rebates. So we should all just be aware of the situation. If you are in doubt, do not give any information. Cancel the call and then call a reputable HMRC number that you know or you can find, and get the facts as they are. Don't give any details. If you have any doubt, go to the original source and get that clarified. If you have any concerns or need any advice regarding these matters or any tax or accountancy issues, I'm happy to speak to you on 079-6124-8834, 079-6124-8834. Otherwise, you can also reach me on email at dan@gilaccountants.com. dan@gilaccountants.com.
Okay, listener, that is our own Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, coming your way today. And today we've looked at the various scams that is going around, and we don't want you to fall victim to it. So, with the discussion that we had so far, please make sure you get in touch. If you see someone who is falling prey to that, please call the Action Fraud line, and then they will help out. But for all your accounting issues, as he said, contact him and he will help you on that front. Mr. Tabiri, let me say thank you very, very much for this wonderful time with you once again.
You're most welcome, and it's been a pleasure. Look forward to speaking with you again next week.
Thank you very much. Regards to the family.
I will do. Thank you.
All right then. Bye. Well, listeners, that was Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services and Money Man, and today we look at the various scams that is going around where people are falling prey to. But we don't want you to do so. So make sure you know what to do. But well, this afternoon, exactement at 3 p.m., what will be happening? Yes, live once again, Roots of Africa and Idol Network's presentation, hosted by Mr. Frank Davis, and today he will be having Engineer Teddy Kuran Lam.
Dashing through the sun, on the road with glasses on, all along we go, laughing all the way, bells are ringing loud, everywhere is green. Oh, what fun it is to walk on the road with glasses on.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Jingle bells, me and friends, swinging on the way. Oh, what fun it is to walk on the road with glasses on. Dashing through the sun, on the road with glasses on. All along we go, laughing all the way. Bells are ringing loud, everywhere is green. Oh, what fun it is to walk on the road with glasses on. Oh, jingle bells, we are friends, swinging on the way. Oh, what fun it is to walk on the road with glasses on. Jingle bells, me and friends, swinging on the way.